Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time to the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host, the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the love and support of our good friends over at the Dependent Creator Directory. That's indecd.org, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. We're also made possible by sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of my ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled a sword to teaching the art to others. We also are made possible by Hates and Hellfire. A dark secret has claimed 2 lives and is hunting an innocent child at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Only his aunt, a plucky reporter, her cameraman, and a very odd cat stand against the forces of darkness. And if you want to help some good people stand against the forces of darkness, you can consider following the link in this QR code or the link that I'm sure someone will throw in the chat that will pop up in about half an hour. To get the shirts to support Ted, who is dealing with throat cancer. Now, that. We will do this, and we will do this. You can also consider reaching out to Dawn Dulas to buy some of her Cat Wiggles brand cat toys, which are simply adorable little home-crafted yarn, frankly, thingamajigs that may keep your cat entertained for hours. I say may because it's cats, and as much as I love them, they are fickle little beings. Happy Monday! How are you doing? It is April 27th. We have a lot cut down the pipe. There's been a lot of news. There has been a national news. There has been a possible attempt on the president's life again. We've had a base bombed in Kuwait, which hasn't happened in a very long time, and assorted other shenanigans. But really, this is where I want to talk. You see, this weekend I got some necessary things done. And what I am developing is what I call my one-shot list. I have a lot around my house, around writing and such. of what I call one-shot projects. Things that once I do them, they're done. I'm never going to have to think about them again, at least not for a very, very long time. And the more of these I get out of my head, the more my brain functionally declutters. We like that. We like decluttering. As I am consumed by clutter. But as I was working on this, I had some interesting discussions, and one topic of discussion that came up multiple times this weekend that I feel I need to bring up forth and lay at the feet of my humble viewers is this. Something to contemplate as we go in and through the week. Understanding the release of attachment to the things we cannot change. Yeah, I'm opening deep for this one, and I know some of you want not the green room, but we're not going to do that right now. No, right now, a great many people have talked to me, and a great many people have had the same distilled situation of tremendous overwhelm. Just far more static in the world to the point where you certainly can't hear a message, let alone find the groove. And the only way to function in this with a bit of tweak is to look at what you cannot change and take the energy you want to put towards not changing it and apply it towards doing things you can change, things that can make your life better. Okay? The frustration of mortality, not in the I am, going to reach my end at some day. That is, the peak of things we cannot change that we rally against. But that's a noble effort, I believe. No, what I am saying is if we want to make it better, I cannot change the price of corn. Okay? I can't change the price of potatoes. Can't change the price of gas. Can't. But I can buy less gas. I can change my routes to keep gas in mind and limit trips. I can make the trips I take be more meaningful. So if I'm going to go to town and I'm going to go do the misery of shopping, why not schedule it so I can stop by one of the nicer parks for a while? You see what I'm saying? If I'm going to be at home, why not take the effort to make home a nicer place to be? And processing this goes really heavily into what we do. Because right now, there are a lot of people, we are in a flux point where a lot of people are getting suddenly into independent publishing again because money is getting tight. And with the temptation of AI slop, for the uncreative and unintelligent, it is highly easy to just crank out a garbage cover, and try to sell it for a few bucks before you get down the road. And it will be popular for a while, and that's fine. McDonald's, or McDonald's if you're old enough, is always there. Okay? It is a soon to be nearly unmanned, AI-driven slop pile of food. I mean, it really is. It's garbage food for you. It's terrible. It will be there. People will buy it. But eventually, what's going to happen as they keep raising their prices and things keep raising, people are going to realize, wait a second, for the same price, I can go over here and either, pick it up to go or, sit down and have a family meal or, heaven help us, Chinese. The smart people will realize the difference and then go. It's just going to happen. So while people panic and jump around doing crazy stuff, I think there's a huge wisdom in just plugging along. Rearranging your time. Spoke to Brian. Well, no, did not get to speak to Brian. Let me phrase that. I was reading his Facebook posts because he puts them out, and they usually speak to me. But when I finish chapter so-and-so. Finish chapter so-and-so. Not on what? Not a will be do done. Just finished that. Simple accountability. I find that revolutionary. Because for most of the streamers, BKM's gone quiet. And I learned it's always interesting when the Vorlon goes to ground. He's just getting stuff done. And sometimes when everything is changing, you don't know what to do. The best thing to do is to realize, let's just get some stuff done. Now, today, there are going to be more storms. And when they hit, whenever, it may interfere with my broadcast. I'm okay with that. It's natural. But my duckies. There are things I wanted to do. There are outdoor things I need to do. There are places I'd like to go, etc., etc. But it's going to be storming. And when they say severe storms out here, they are not to be played with. When you're baselined, 25-mile-an-hour sustained winds is also called a Tuesday in these parts. Storms can be 50, 60-mile-an-hour gusts. Your door's getting kicked in by the invisible man. I could be scared. My poor cats are going to be terrified. I could be peeved because it is interfering with my plans, much like it did yesterday. I could go out and shake my fist at the sky, which is a proud old guy tendency. But that is all energy. And as I was explaining to my lovely son last night, a version of spoon theory. You only get so much energy. And for me, because of certain medical conditions and certain mental conditions, let's be honest here, I play my cards on the table. I have less than a lot of people. I have a very short stamina bar these days. It's better than it's been before, but not as good as it could or should be, and I need to work on that. So that means I have to invest my emotional energy. I have to invest my physical ability and energy. And I have to invest the time that I will not get back, which is our most valuable commodity and that which we squander the most quickly. I have to be selective. I have to be cautious. And to do that, the only way I'm going to be able to is by planning my steps very carefully. By setting my steps very carefully. Because there are things I need to do. And if I squander my energy shouting at the wind, then I'm not doing what I could be doing. Besides, I rarely shout at storms. I have been known to politely ask them, if you don't mind not leveling everything, I'd be very appreciative. And that's kind of where I hit with that, which is neither here nor there. It's just part of my bizarre proclivities. Anything that I can anthropomorphize, I'm intend to try to negotiate with. I have this crazy theory that at the root, the vast majority of people operate on the if you leave me alone, I will leave you alone category. Maybe it's morality, maybe it's sloth, but that's what people lean towards. I can start with that, I can work with that. And then I very foolishly extend that to other things. That's part of my charm. But we look at the time we waste grumbling about that which we cannot change. And how that we let that affect us, how we let that make us think, how we let that shape our perception. And the path of railing against things that cannot be changed bears with it a certain amount of temptation, because there's a level of release of autonomy, of consequence. I'm just a victim of these huge forces, if only. The vast majority of times, as functioning adults, the vast majority of times, we are the victim of our own limitations, perhaps, but certainly our own decisions. Now, there will always be situations where that is not true. So I don't want to hear I'm victim blaming. But I am saying, why waste energy on embracing victimhood for things that you can change? And people get confused. Okay? You get confused. You go to a cruddy job. Your boss is a jerk. We've all been there. There's nothing you can do. And perhaps in the short term there is, but nothing you can do. You need to eat, you need to do this. But as soon as you punch out, you're on your time. And you can either job hunt on your time, or you can, educate yourself to become better, or you can change your financial circumstances where you don't need to work there for that much money. Or you can be nefarious and plot your boss's downfall. Whatever. There are things you can do. Right now, I do not have the ability to change a great many things that I want to. And I am spread very thin on the things that I need to. So that means I have to adjust my energies. And railing and shaking my fist won't get it done. One more story on this principle. One more bit of a, dare I say, parable, because it affected me a lot. I tell the story a lot, but it affected me. There's a storm coming in, and it reminds me of a day where I went to the beach. I went to the beach at the Portage River Walk in lovely Portage, Indiana, right inside of the steel mills that I'm sure was very safe for me. And it started raining, and everybody fled. Now, the slightest drop of rain will make most people flee the beach. I've always found that to be idiotic because I'm there to be underwater for the most part. Why would I worry about a slight rain? That was poor judgment on my case, and I'll admit it freely, because that slight rain turned into a big storm, which again, okay, it's raining. It was warm rain, felt kind of nice. Still doing my business. Then I realized what I was feeling, and I had been ripped out. Now, rip current is a massive, unspeakable power, and it is a non-negotiable. What I mean is, you cannot fight a rip current. If you're being pulled out, if you try to swim straight to shore, you will exhaust yourself and drown. Hard facts. Now, I got ripped out pretty darn far in pretty high waves. And fortunately, I was at the Portage Beach, which has a big sand hill, a sand dune, and a visitor center. And at the top of the peaked roof of the visitor center was at that time a seagull. And to this day, I believe that was an angel, because that seagull stayed there. And when the waves were chunking me about, the only bit of shore I could see, I was so far out, was that seagull sticking up out there for a bearing. So I had to do what you have to do. The only way to get out of a rip current is to swim perpendicular. Okay? Parallel to shore, perpendicular to the force pulling out. You're still getting pulled out, but you're just sort of angling till you get out of the current. And then, once you're well and truly free of that rip current, you have no option. You have the option, once you're well and free, to then angle towards shore and swim back. I think it took me between an hour and 2 hours when I looked at the clock and I did some quick checks. I have no idea how far I swam that day, but it was a lot. And I kind of thank God for the padding, because it did make me a little extra buoyant. I'm also appreciative of the general lack of sharks in Lake Michigan. But when I was being ripped and figuring it out, because I was dropping under the waves to physically rest and then come up, get breath, and fight, I could see being pulled into the deeper water, and the gray to the black to this, Joyce can love it, this gradient. And it's always incredible to meet a force that is completely beyond you. Understand that? And even if it's terrifying, which it usually is, witnessing an elemental force that is, especially if it's acting upon you or acting near you, could be a life-changing event. I've had it several times. I've seen, I saw a forest fire going across Yellowstone, and we were driving through, getting out ahead of it. I've seen a couple tornadoes and major storms like that. things so powerful, truly beyond the scope of your capability to oppose. Quite humbling. So you just get out of its way. You don't waste energy fighting it. There are times to take, heroic last stands and things, but there's always that last category in there. Right now, a lot's going on in the world. And if you try to oppose force with force, you'll be crushed. You'll just be crushed. There is no shame in knowing your limitations. But if you want something, that means you have to develop either you change your victory conditions, means you adjust what you want, or you understand that you have to take the long way around. But don't waste your time yelling at mudslides. Don't waste your time screaming at a rip current that's pulling you out to the sea or out to the lake. Take that time, take that energy, and redirect it to where you can. And I think with that mentality and an incredibly long monologue this week, I can say that it's time to run an ad. And very soon, when I get the new version of the Indie CD ad, I will run that. But right now, I will do as I have been. Alrighty. We have a huge comment done because I took entirely too long. But we're going to go through what we can. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Carl. I will be watching your video when I get a chance to watch it. Probably at 1.25, 1.5 speed, just to try and squeeze it in before I have issue. I'd like to urge folks to check out indiecd.org, the best place to shop for the art and book liking public. Absolutely. I cannot overexpress how awesome IndieCD is, especially since it's been renovated by the amazing Joe Bachman. And hey, what's been due to hey, Donna? Accountability. Finished up for now the Drunken Psychology show with very little drunkenness. Excellent. I do love a complete series that I can, when I get that moment to myself, begging your finest pardon. I dislike when inanimate objects move of their own accord. Thank you. Anyway, hi, Donna. But no, I'm going to get to sit down and watch all of that. And good morning, Dawn. I've already shown Dawn's shirt earlier on, but I will, for the sake of amusement. There we go. I will bring up her cats, Buddy and Georgette, whom you can read about on her Facebook page. I think it's time for Dawn to compile her Buddy and Georgette stories into a cute read of some sort. But that's neither here nor there. Oh, another comment dump. You guys are spicy today. Let's see. Here we are. Mostly. Hi, Donna. Good morning. Stay safe, everyone. Mother Nature is crabby again. Yep, so we're going to do this. I know that the storms are coming, so I've plugged in my assorted battery packs, at least the ones I could easily find before the program. I will track down the others and plug them in as well. Yes, we are planning our trip to the pharmacy right after cat lunchtime to get back at home as soon as possible. Makes sense. I was exhausted yesterday from Saturday. Went to bed early. Now I woke up early, not to mention a few close thunders already. Well, that tells me about how far out things are. Thank you for the warning. Monday, 'tis a bit rainy. Thunder yesterday, which I'll take. We need much more rain. I'm just glad I don't have to listen to Papa Thesis whine about rain today. Is he shaking his fist at storms? Are you guys shaking your fists at storms? You said the event went well? Yes. Foxy. And everyone's happy to see Foxy. How are you, dear? And hi, Thesis. I know you're in the background. People do want to hear from you. Meh. Does Papa Thesis complain about the weather a lot? Pathologically so. That fits. That fits. And it did. Sold a few cat toys, got a cash donation. Someone ordered a shirt, got to hang out with Doc Olson, and my cat wiggles will be available in Stooges Comics. Cool! It's an old guy thing. We like shouting at clouds. Nice. And greetings. Oh, nice. Got a lot done. Indeed. And yeah, Carl, he'll do it constantly for hours. Come on, stop. It's exhausting to listen to. Yeah, it's like, dude, put on a poncho, pick up an umbrella, get her done. Meanwhile, I am doing things like, come on, Rain, we need nice and steady, though no flooding. It happens, very cool. I learned a long time ago, you appear much wiser when you don't talk much. It's quite a feat that you folks got me to go on for an hour on my psych show. Well, it's a subject that you are well versed in, and one that people need perspectives on. I know I get passionate on certain subjects, and occasionally I will very deliberately distance myself from live viewings so that I don't risk taking over the chat. But there's also, Sunday nights are very much a family time for me, so that gets where it gets. We're prone to things like flash flooding out here. I bet. You did a great job, Carl. I had fun with the series. Oh, thank you. And Botrick successfully joined the channel. Carl's dropping his like. Don't forget to like and share, folks. Yes, please like and share so I can keep doing what I do on this channel. Hey, Nick. Hey, goodness. I'm on day 679 of finching. I'm impressed. Nice. I thought you said flinching. Oh, I've done that a lot longer. As part of my recovery from OCD, Carl continues, had to realize that my need to concentrate on Carl's little corner and making it better rather than worry about larger issues. I can only change Carl. Yes. If that changes the world a small bit, that's great. If not, I've flung a few starfish back in the sea, and I feel good about that. Hello, Mr. Lankard. And greetings for Grant, and greetings and F the NFL draft. Okay. We are coming out strong, and LOL, it's my first day off in over a week. I bet. NFL draft. Is that a new beer? It's already storming here. I don't mind storms as long as they aren't bad. I'm talking the draft where they pick new players to teams. It's a huge production. I hope it's not too bad. Speaking of storms, I didn't realize the gas station, we were speaking of south of the motel visit, that gave me a sad. Yeah, I'm I'm sorry. It was shocking to all of us locals as well. Oh, Fox, sounds like the sports ball stuff. There's plenty of beer over there. I bet. I only know about it because Mama Thesis watches it. Ah. Morning, everyone. Oh, wait. Is Papa. You're referring to Papa Thesis as Thesis's dad? I thought you were just making a joke about Thesis. I'll be honest. But when you said Mama Thesis, I'm like, uh-oh, I think I realized an error there. Oops. And morning, everyone. Morning, Josh Kemp. How are you doing? Hey, Josh. Hey, Carl. Oh, my God. The event was beyond boring. Hi, Foxy. Well, there's a lot of money involved. Right? So team takes blah, blah, blah as draft 12, 20 minutes later. Repeat draft number 13. Hey, Josh and Grant. And sometimes I wonder if everything is just an excuse to drink. Yeah, basically. Basically. It fires up the betting community. It lets rich people knock back some booze and chase women that they probably can't have. Yes, Grant, simple choice of life. For me, it isn't the draft itself. It's the pomp and circumstance, the drama build-up. Just tell us who's going where, and done. That's why I don't follow live events unless there's a very precise reason to do so. May have gotten bored enough after a few minutes to deep clean the bathroom. No, and I don't follow football, so that makes sense. I understand. And Josh is flipping someone the bird. Probably Dawn. Because Dawn did earlier and I didn't bring it up. I feel the same way about the Oscars. Every year on Monday after the Oscars, I take Oscar winners into Google. It saves me. I'm to the point where, honestly, I don't care. Now, if it's the Steampunk Authors Awards, I might be interested. The rain doesn't kill you, but the lightning has its own ideas on the beach. And that's true. Morning, everyone. I hope you had an enjoyable weekend. Your week is off to a good start. Indeed. Almost been struck by lightning twice, within 10 feet. Shocking. I bet you got a jolt out of that. I have no doubt it amped up your day. I'm going to stop before I discharge more puns. Anyway. Yeah, I don't want to create static in this conversation. Stop it! Okay. Hey, Chris. Ironically, both times at Little League games. Yikes. Hey, Chris. Fox, that's not a surprise. You seem to be the universe's favorite toy. I can't remember. Foxy, were you the one who went flying accidentally as a child? Sit next to the bleachers, which got the whole thing lit up. Sound, oh my gosh. And congrats on surviving the NFL draft. Grant? Yeah, we love that. And cry, Chris. Oh, garbage and squeak. Okay, that sounds like nature's upset. It doesn't. Nature, wait a second. Sounds like nature is upset that it doesn't have coin for Foxy's wares. But you know what? You might.
Hi, I'm Auntie Foxy, and I'm a crafting addict. I make custom jewelry from recycled materials, and Foxy has wares if you have coin. You can find me at indcd.org/about-auntie-foxy. I hope to see you there.
I made a good sandwich, but it's a touch dry. Alrighty. And greetings for Chris, and thank you. Even back when I was hawking stuff at flea markets. Ron Rodman's newsletter said that shipping charges have gone up, so they've had to change how they do things. They're going to have to add shipping charges separately. Makes sense to me. So shipping costs are wild. They really are. That's what's kept me out of doing a lot of business that I could, just because I feel bad having to pay shipping fees or charge shipping fees. Shipping's outrageous. $4.28 a gallon. Woo! Woo! Haven't seen what today's like. That's babies. It's been anywhere from $3.50 to $4.70. Yeah, I bet. I love how Foxy said pathologically, I'm rubbing off on her. In a good way, not green room. Indeed. And there we are. Angelina. Good morning, Angelina. Chuckles. Had fun at Stellarfest. A nice weekend getaway. Had a few pre-reg, 2 possible vendors, interest in attending Halicon by several other people. Excellent. There are reasons why Thesis calls me Bones. Great, Chris. And hey, Chris, it was great seeing you and the rest of the Halicon crew this weekend. How'd you make out? And he up to 5 now. It was 3 when I added my like. We can do better. Oh, yes. Hi, Angelina. Look at my comment 3 or 4 before yours. Just saw it. Excellent. And the nuggets Scritches asked for and received by Indigo. Good to know that Indigo is getting what he needs. Hey, Angelina. Oops, our internet glitched for a few seconds. Ominous music plays. Oh, no. No, Mr. Potter. There will be no foolish wand waving in this class. Anyway. Snape. Severus Snape. Anyway, okay. Then they have to have the attention. Most former players making the draft pick announcement. It's their last time in the spotlight and they miss the attention. What kills me is the raw amount of money involved with such spectacles and how much good could instantly be done with just a portion of it. Because advertisers make vast, unspeakable sums of money on these guys. Gentlemen and ladies, to an extent, whose entire life is built around taking some type of ball and accomplishing a game. And I'm not saying they don't put huge amounts of work into it, because they do. But I cannot grasp how they do more good than someone like a teacher. I just can't. I think we just need to reevaluate our whole system. But that is what it is. Let me look. I want to check to see how the weather looks. Okay, we are still at Lumi. I'll take Lumi. I could take Lumi all day. You mean overcast? No, I mean Lumi. Let's see. I still think it was neat that as an event with Doc Olson and Halloween was at StellarCon with Bobby Nash, and they both have stories in the Zorro anthology. Small world, isn't it? It's a small world after all. Halicon. This new phone better start learning my words. LOL. Bobby Nash was at Stellar Films. I'm glad he gets around. I'm with you in the new phone learning stage. Thesis will be later today. Okay, good. I took a pic with Doc Olson and posted it to one of Bobby's posts. We got a giggle out of it. Perhaps we need to make curing cancer into a sport. Doctors and researchers could be sponsored by STP if it gets the job done. I mean, That's the only way they get funding right now. We need to do something. There are several systems, but that runs right into our wall of can't do anything about it. So I just don't watch. That's right. I help people where I can, and I just don't participate in a lot of the chest thumping, geographical identity, tribal distractions. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying everyone should live the way I do. I'm just saying it can't hurt to spend your time on other things. I mean, you could be, instead of spending all that time watching other people play a game, why don't you consider playing a game?
It's time to scan, that is the plan with Carl and Dawn to catch a fawn or unicorn. We're so forlorn, we got a cap, so here's our rep. Munsey, we want to Munsey, because we want some points and funny badges with our modern cell phone gadgets. Munsey, we've got to Munsey. Download that app and help us cap, and you can play it too. Munsey is good exercise, good for your heart and for your thighs. Dawn is such a lovely lass. Come on, Dawn, get off your chair. Munsey, we want to Munsey, because we want some points and funny badges with our modern cell phone gadgets. Munsey, we got to Munsey. Download that app and help us cap, and you can play it too.
I really wasn't rocking out. Don't mind me. And Nick, you're incorrect. Not watching. You know, you're right. Because we have to realize one of the most powerful bits of commodity we have in the world is our attention. Huge amounts of our economy are built around attention. Because if we're watching this, the demographics can process it. You know, they can influence us to try to make money or try to gain social control. Try to encourage that we treat our illnesses the way they want us to. Things like that. It's fascinating. I think that was the name of a Dennis Leary comedy special. No Cure for Cancer. Chair. And here comes Dawn in the Pennzoil car, rolling up her third Munsey of the day. Oh, no. Valid point. If I were offended, I would say so. Giggles. Pennzoil? I want a sponsor with prettier colors. The color you want from your sponsor is green. Seriously, folks. But I forget sometimes how much of an action choosing not to play is. It's like whatever those nail colors are. Some pretty colors, I'll give them that. Point. True that, Nick. Give me all the green. Well, when we talk about excess and money, I always have to think of Dolly Parton. Because Dolly Parton, who's one of my personal heroes, and been a crush of mine since I want to say I was 3 years old. She could and by all measures should be a billionaire. And the reason she's not is she keeps giving her money away and using it to do good things and helping people. That's heroic. that is giving, that is borderline saintly. And it's inspirational. And there's no money in cures. No, with shame. Cures are wonderful things, especially if there are no side effects. Well, and that is something. The healthcare industry is not in the business of healing people. It is in the business of maintaining clients. It's like in Australia, for example, if you have obstructive sleep disorder like yours truly, one of the treatments they do very relatively early on is they do something to open up your nasal passages. It's this type of surgery. It is not very pleasant, but they get in, they get it, they get you fixed. And in many cases, it helps. Now, in America, they want you on reoccurring payments. Everything, yep. See, it's the subscription model. At the end of the day, yep. At the end of the day, they want us always renting, never owning everything, even medically. That's why the streaming services are so ridiculous. Yeah. Like Donna's eye surgery, she doesn't need to pay for glasses now, just the cost of the surgery, which was about 10 pairs of glasses. And that cost is ridiculous too. Every other allegedly first world nation, although I don't know if we still are with what's going on, the government pays for healthcare. We don't. I think that is one of the great tragedies of our time. Now, we can vote about it, we can talk about it, but we can't immediately change it. We have to be smart. It's like, this is what... Oh, accountability. I have a physical therapy appointment today. Go there, hopefully diagnosed with... Officially, that would be awesome. I'm sorry, I fumbled that several times, but in accountability, I have a physical therapy appointment today. And the first I go in to hopefully be diagnosed with my hypermobile stuff. Good luck, Foxy. I recently found out some fascinating things about hypermobility and its effect on your stomach issues. Because the collagen type stuff, and I am not a doctor, is loose, right? It's what the part that lets you move more. Well, that's the same stuff that is around some of your squishier organs, which can affect how digestion works. I find that fascinating. Look into it. And we've got Good Luck, Foxy, and first cat appearance soon. Thanks, Carl. I'm a bit nervous, even though I know mostly what to expect. Doctor's visits are always like that, Foxy, but I'm sure you will get what you need out of it. I'm choosing, whenever possible, to consciously stay positive. Not toxic positivity, by all means. That's idiotic, too. But conscious positivity. I need things to be better, and the things I can change, I'm going to change. And part of it is attitude. Which is funny because today is one of the few days I haven't worn a Hawaiian shirt on stream, but I needed to be cooler. I'm trying to adapt to the heat this year instead of simply ensconcing myself in air conditioning and lurking about the neighborhood like some kind of vampiric entity, under my big hat, not going out during the day, etc. And best of luck to you, Foxy. I hope you get the solution that works with you with little side effects and issues help interfere with helping you feel better. Yep, that's what we all want for each other. I may come home a zebra. It'd be nice to have a name to put it on it, you know. I don't know. The more I have found out about ADHD, the more I can firmly say that you like my personality, don't worry. It's a disorder. But I can see the desire to have a name just so that you have something to say to the people who don't believe you. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but even just so other docs gotta be careful because of the thing I got. Oh no, it makes perfect sense. And yes, zebra. Yes, I get it. I'm cautiously optimistic for this week, friends. I am cautiously optimistic that it's going to get better, that we have a chance at peace. We have a chance at comfort. We have a chance at love, provided we all stop and genuinely work towards it. As long as you don't come home as a fruit striped zebra. I've got more flavor than that, and I bet you last longer, too. That sounded way worse than I thought it was. Yes. Makes sense. Otherwise, it's in your head unless it has letters to make a word. No, I understand. Carl's had a second cat check in, and his feline overlords are telling him he needs to go. See you later. And not the Green Room Foxy. Yes. It's going to get better, guys. Because one thing I have faith in is that you guys are listening and already are on the path to using your time, your energies efficiently. That you're working towards making your lives and the lives of those you care about a little bit better. And if that's all we accomplish, that's sufficient. I mean, I hope to do a bit more, but if that's all we accomplish, that is sufficient. The last time I went to a rheumatologist, they didn't want to test me for anything because I was fat. I was so angry. I had that issue with my nerve doctor. The nerve doctor I had, who screwed everything up, simply put, his response was to write your morbidly fat. That's why I have nerve problems. Okay. Nothing to help. I just get to walk around feeling like my hands are on electric fire all the time. Groovy. And Foxy's flavor lasts much longer. You'd have to ask that thesis about that, Dawn. Yep. Foxy, my first rheumatologist, was disgusting. He looked at my paperwork, looked at my blood test, looked at me from across the room, and told me it was in my head to lose weight. I can't believe I just said that one. I can. Well, it's looking like the show's coming to an end today. I hope you all have a really good start of the week. You too. I think I'm going to run an ad or two and wrap it up. Nice, mellow show.
From the moment Security Chief Michael Fassino heard her lilting voice, he was smitten with the Irish lady in distress. But what's invaded his home station at Calidar? And what's that Irish voice doing in his head?
You can find all of Donna Carlene's books on Lulu.com. Find out more about her on the NDCD page at ndcd.org.
Oops. And I'm going to run this one.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
Well, guys, I've had something come up, so I'm going to have to call it. I will say this. Y'all are being a little harsh on yourselves. Be gentle in there, okay? Now, guys, I'm proud of you. I don't know if anybody said that lately, but I am. I'm genuinely proud of you. You're working hard in difficult times, doing things that most people will never know about. So I just wanted to let you know you're recognized. As for you who are still among the creative, keep writing, keep drawing, keep praying, because as long as you do, you can edit it, you can improve it, but you can't edit a blank page. I love you, and you should too. Toodles.